Welcome to I Love Literature. I am here to give a talk on national prejudice written by Oliver Goldsmith. Now, I'm not going to do a line by line explanation in this video. If you want me to do in Hindi or in English, please write down to me in comment section given below. I will definitely do it. Today I'm not doing in fact a critical analysis, a detailed critical analysis. I'm just giving a small talk on this essay on national prejudice. So let's start that. Now, the first question is, what is being prejudiced? Prejudice simply means being biased about something. If you think something good about somebody, you will think that it is good only. You can never think bad about it. You can't look at both the sides of a coin. You are just looking at one side of the coin and you're prejudiced. For an example, if girls think that all men are bad, that means they are being prejudiced. It is not possible. There are men who are good. If men think that all women in this world are bad, that is not true. Women are good too. So this is what he is addressing, and I think it has become a very interesting topic right now, looking at the geopolitics of the world, what is happening in the world, the chaos which is being created by some for some vested interest in this world is because of this national prejudice only. I think you have understood what I am talking about. Now, coming back to this, I think it is clear what is being prejudiced. Prejudice means being biased about something. Now, let's look at the first paragraph. I'm not going to read it line by line. I'll just give you a little idea about it. As I am one of that sauntering tribe of mortals who spend the greatest part of their time in taverns, coffee houses, and other places of public resort, I have thereby an opportunity of observing an infinite variety of characters, which to a person of a contemplative turn is a much higher entertainment than a view of all the curiosities of art or nature. So understand this, that as I am one of that sauntering tribe of mortals, he says I'm a traveler, okay, and I like to spend my most of the time in taverns, coffee houses, and other places of public resort. That simply means that he likes to spend his time among people. He is a social animal, okay, he's a party animal. He likes to be surrounded by people. Why? Because he loves to read their nature. Okay, if he is traveling, he is not traveling for any art, to explore any art or to explore nature. There are people who like to travel because they want to look at beautiful things, okay, beautiful objects of art. There are people who like to travel because they love to see nature. They are nature lover. But here he is somebody who likes to study and analyze what? Human nature. Okay, so he is going to observe now. This traveler is going to tell us that what he has seen, what he has observed, and then we come to know that during one of his walks, he accidentally fell into a company of half a dozen gentlemen who were engaged in a warm dispute about some political affair. So saying yourself that I am national of this place, I am a national of that place, is actually a political affair. This is not a geographical affair. Political map. What is political map and what is a geographical map? Geographical map is wherein you find no human intervention. A political map is something which is created on this earth by human beings, okay, borders. So now what happens that if you look at the second last line of this, you will understand. They thought proper to refer to me, which naturally drew me in for a share of the conversation. Now this observer now becomes participant. Now he is going to participate in the talk. Now which topic they have taken up? We took occasion to talk of the different characters of the several nations of Europe. Now, this is a political talk actually. So, they are talking about several nations of Europe. Okay, when one of the gentlemen, cocking his hat, cocking his hat, making his hat look stiff and straight, okay, assuming such an air of importance as if he had possessed all the merit of English nation in his own person, declared that the Dutch were a parcel of avaricious wretches, the French a set of flattery sycophants, that the German were drunken sots and beastly gluttons, and the Spaniards proud, haughty, surly tyrants, but that in bravery, generosity, clemency, and in every other virtue, the English excelled all the world. So, this is a national prejudice. Do you think that all the people of England are good? There are no liars in England? There are no thieves in England? There are no robbers in England? How is it possible? In every society you find every type of people, and then this generalization, actually our essayist, okay, our narrator is mocking this generalization, that you cannot generalize, you cannot say the entire population, okay, of France, of Germany, of Spain, entire population is bad. That is not true. You will find everywhere, you will find good people, and everywhere you will find bad people. There is a mixture of this thing. So what our writer is showing us, narrow mindedness. If you are prejudiced about something, that means you are narrow minded. So actually our writer is showcasing this narrow mentality, narrow mindset of English people over here. And then what they pretend to be, wearing a hat, that means they pretend to be well educated, okay, which is actually a farce of this society. That's a farce, okay. Now if you look at the third paragraph, you will realize this very learned and judicious remark was received with a general smile of approbation by all the company. Approbation means they have approved it, they have agreed with it. Now this learned and judicious remark, it is not learned and judicious remark, okay, it is actually a biased remark. So this is a satire, okay. This actually, our writer, actually our essayist Oliver Goldsmith is making fun of these English people. He's showing us that how shallow these people are. He's actually showing us intellectual lacuna of these people. Okay, then he says that he thought that he should avoid it. When he heard these things, he actually understood that it is better to avoid these people, because they are not going to understand what I am going to talk about. Why they are not going to understand? Why they will not agree with him, even if he speaks rationally about his viewpoint? Because these people are prejudiced. Nothing can be done with these people, okay. So that's what he talks about. Now look at the next paragraph. But my pseudo patriot had no mind to let me escape so easily. Not satisfied that his opinion should pass without contradiction, he was determined to have it ratified by the suffrage of everyone in the company. Now I'm going to talk to you only about one line, that is, but my pseudo patriot had no mind to let me escape so easily. My pseudo patriot, is he talking about himself? No, that's the wrong interpretation. Read this line carefully. But my pseudo patriot. Who is pseudo patriot? What do you mean by the word pseudo patriot? Pseudo patriot. Patriot means somebody who loves his country, and pseudo patriot means that person who believes so much in his government, irrespective of the fact whether the government is doing good or bad. He believes that his government is always right. And if there are people who are condemning that very government of his country, then he thinks that those people are not patriot. Okay. If you are just praising Modi government, then you are a patriot. Let me give you an example of myself. If anybody in my country talks bad about Modi government, I am not going to listen that. Even if they are right, then what I'm a pseudo patriot. I'm not a patriot because I think that those people who are not talking in favor of Modi government are not patriot. So that is being pseudo patriot, which is not true. But my pseudo patriot had no mind to let me escape so easily. So that person who spoke so bad about other people, he is not ready to let me escape so easily. So here, who is pseudo patriot? Our writer is not pseudo patriot. The man who said that, who was criticizing people of other nations, is actually a pseudo patriot. I hope it is clear. And now, then he says that I like to reason things out, and then he says that he wants. He believes in being a citizen of the world. Actually, that's a thought of being so much human. Okay, you are actually being humane when you say that I'm a citizen of the world. That means you care for everybody, you care for humanity. But these people are not going to understand. See, understand this thing, that in order to love your country, you don't have to hate other people. No. In order to love your country, you don't have to hate people of other countries. What do you have to do in order to love your country? In order to love your country, you have to only love your country and spread good things about your country. It's not that I love my country, so I am going to invade others, I'm going to attack others. That means I love my country. No, that is not true. So that's what writer is trying to tell us here, that you love your country more when you love peace, when you love others also. So that's what here writer is trying to tell us. And then writer says that, did these prejudices prevail only among the meanest and lowest of the people? Perhaps they might be excused, as they have few, if any, opportunity of correcting them by reading, traveling, or conversing with foreigners. But the misfortune is that they infect the minds and influence the conduct even of our gentlemen, of those, I mean, who have very title of this appellation but an exemption from prejudice. He says it's not that poor people or people who are not well educated, they are only hating others, they are being prejudiced. No, people who are educated, this is our misfortune, that people who are educated, they are also prejudiced. Are they actually educated? No, they are not. Okay, that's what writer is trying to showcase in this. He's actually telling us that education in England, in English society, is poor. People are not actually intellectual. People are actually very shallow. Okay, so that's what he says here. And then he says, should it be alleged in defense of national prejudice that it is the natural and necessary growth of love to our country, and that therefore the former cannot be destroyed without hurting the later? I answer that this is a gross fallacy and delusion. This is your fallacy. This is a myth, that in order to love your country, you have to hate other countries. This is a myth. So actually, our writer is showcasing that how much English people are narcissist. They are actually narcissist. They have so much of self-love that they, you know, hate others, they look down upon others. So this is actually a, here writer is not talking about people from other countries like uh, Germany, France, Spain. Okay, by giving an example of these countries, he's actually bringing the entire focus on English people. He's actually, showing a mirror to English people that see what kind of mentality you have. Okay, so is it not very possible that I may love my country without hating the natives of other countries? That I may exert the most heroic bravery, the most undaunted resolution in defending its law and liberty without despising all the rest of the world as cowards and poltroons? Most certainly it is, and if it were not, but why need I suppose that is absolutely impossible? But if it were not, I must own I should prefer the title of the ancient philosopher, a citizen of the world. Okay, so he says that if of that of an Englishman, a Frenchman, to that of an Englishman, a Frenchman, an European, or to any other appellation, whatever. So he's actually talking about the entire world, that he doesn't like to have title of an Englishman or a Frenchman or European. He would like to be a citizen of world, and that is actually being educated, that is actually being intelligent. So he is showing us vices of the society. He is actually showing intellectual lacuna. He's actually showing us that these people are not fine people. These people are not somebody who will spread love and peace in the entire world. There is lot to improve in English society, and that's what he is actually trying to impact English people by writing this. He is asking them to become a citizen of the world so that there will be more peace in this world. Thank you for listening.